And we are back with another episode of Antimatter Chemistry. Now, these episodes, I kept releasing them a bit later. I've been a bit busy, not with the modpack, real life. So I might as well change the schedule of stuff. I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't know what's going to happen. But I'll keep uploading, as much as I can. It's something I enjoy a bit. In the previous episode, we solved energy, both energy generation using energenics and energy storage using draconic evolution. So if we need more energy, this is quite easy to expand. And ender pearls, we're producing a lot. So there is really no problem with that. Having that solved, we can focus on getting the materials for the antimatter catalyst. We won't really be doing much of this just yet. For now, we are only going to hoard all of the materials that we need, all of the molds and all of the mineral salts and other small materials that are no molds that we need. But before that, there is something we need to set up, and that is nether stars. So let's come here into our underground world where we have all of the spawners. This is the place that we use for avoiding lag. A lot of entities are here. Same as endermans, they are just anywhere right now. And I think we are going to set up nether star generation right here. So we will do the nether star generation somewhere here, and for that we will be using wither data models. So a lot of deep mob evolution. Jesus, I need to put something so endermans don't teleport anywhere. They're really just invading all of my space right now. So we will start with the crafter. In this crafter, we are going to be crafting polymer clay. For this, we need to extract some stuff. We will need to request gold, lapis, and iron from our mainnet. And right here, we will also be crafting clay. For the clay recipe, we are going to be using a lot of overworldian matter. So we will first be crafting dirt together with some stone. Then we will craft the dirt into clay. The clay we will uncraft it into the clay balls, and these clay balls we will be using it for the polymer clay. And of course the polymer clay, we are going to store it in a drawer. Now the question is, where are we going to get the overworldian matter in order to produce all of those dirt and clay we need? The answer is from guardian data models, which I already have in self-aware. So they're going to be producing a lot of not only the predictions. Well, here are not predictions. The pristine guardian matter, but also a lot of overworldian matter. So I think we're going to have a simulation chamber wall around this place. Each simulation chamber will have one loot fabricator, according to the data models we are farming. Of course, for simplicity purposes, we are going to be using impulse item ducts. This is the most simple thing we can do. Doesn't require any kind of rocket science. We will be using reinforced servos, as we really don't need that high level of servos. These ones will take a lot of time to simulate, to finish the simulation, so we really don't need to extract that fast. In this line, we will insert polymer clay through all of the simulation chambers. And from the top, we will be extracting both the matter and the pristine. The matter for the guardians will be stored in a drawer with a large buffer and some void upgrades, so this doesn't stop producing. And the pristines will go into this loot fabricator, and we will get prismarine from it. The overworldian matter, we will use it for the crafter, so we will export all of the matter that will be stored here into the crafter. For the case of the nether stars, we will also be getting a lot of extraterrestrial matter, and we really don't have any use for this, so we can just directly throw it in a trash can. Of course, this is filtered, so only the extraterrestrial matter enters here. In this one here, we'll enter the pristine from the wither, which will get us the nether stars. So I only need to connect all of this to the system. So of course, connecting all of this is fairly simple. What we can do now is grab some polymer clay. Let's get 64 of it for now. Now that everything is connected, and I'm very sorry for this mess of cables. I'm really not in the mood to make all of this fine looking. we are really, we're really just about to finish the modpack. I'm not really in the mood of making it look good. I just want to finish it. Just that. Want to move on, please move on. We're going to be using NetsNet to redistribute the polymer clay. So the idea is that we have the polymer clay in a drawer. We lock it, of course. And if we give power to the controller, we should be redirecting the polymer clay into all of our simulation chambers. The only thing we should be needing now is to connect all of the simulation chambers to power. And for that, first I'm going to connect, of course, the ones that are for the Guardian data models. Now everything will run. And hopefully some of them will start succeeding on the engagements. Only one out of the three succeed. Polymer clay is getting up. That's nice. We lock this drawer now. Polymer clay is getting into our crafter. And we can as well give power to the crafter. And it would be okay if all of these crafts, they craft properly. And they get the output into our input slots. And there's it. We have the polymer clay crafting. Of course, we have to use servos in order to extract the items from here. But look at that. We're producing polymer clay. And all of this should be self-sustainable, basically. Or somehow self-sustainable. And now we can connect all of this to power. And we are now starting to produce wither pristines. Of course, if they successfully engage. Now again, we are also receiving pristine Guardian matters. This one we will use for prismarine shards. Again, we can connect this to power. And the prismarine shards, we should be able to just import them. If this, of course, wants to import. Yep. The same here we have our wither matters. We are going to be producing nether stars. So let's connect this to power. And if we import this, we are now producing nether stars. Now the idea is to have more than 4 simulation chambers for nether stars. But to get started, it's going to be more than enough. And of course, both prismarine, we are storing it in a 265k storage cell. And as well as the nether stars, we should be storing that. Yes, nether stars. We already have 156 nether stars. What? That much? That many? 159 nether stars. When? I don't know, but we have 159 nether stars. That's quite nice. While we are here, let's also start processing the prismarine we are producing. So here we have an export bus exporting prismarine shards. This will go into a dissolver, which will dissolve it into cobalt, aluminate, and beryl. This beryl, we should be able to just store it and use it in order to make emeralds. But emeralds, they are really not that useful as for now. I don't think so. We can craft milk, but yeah, I don't think we really need it. I don't feel we really need it. So instead, we are going to be dissolving that together with the cobalt aluminate. Of course, first of all, we need to make sure that we have the storage cells for them, for the molds that we are extracting. And we also have to make sure that all of those molds are already being stored in those cells. Now we can just start dissolving them right here. 1, 2. And there is it. We should start to see new molds being introduced into our system. And of course we are. That is quite nice. And of course we also need to put them on the grid. That is beryllium. And finally aluminum. We have 3 more molds being passively processed. Now that we have nether stars being processed, can we craft more? No, we can't. We are missing nether stars and diamonds. The lattices, they are quite expensive. We don't have enough diamonds. Can I craft 4 more? No, I need more nether stars. Can I craft 2 more? I need 3 more nether stars. So let's wait a bit. And there it goes. 2 more neutronium compressors. Of these ones, of the dense version of them. Look at all of those lattices being crafted. Oh, my diamonds. My diamonds. Poor diamonds. So let's get 18 more neutron collectors. And these 18, we can compress them into 2 more dense neutron collectors. We need a lot of neutronium. A lot. Now, great part of the mod pack from now on will be just me trying to passive a lot of molds. So I really don't know how interesting this will look in a video. But one of the problems that I'm having right now is a rock crushing system. It's been like this for a while now, and that is because there are some materials that I need to further process, which I'm not processing. Diorite is just fine, but for granite and for andesite, it is stuck. So we need to make something out of the rhodochrosite, the beryllium, as well as sulfur, arsenic, and that's all actually. So what we can do is request rhodochrosite from our system. The rhodochrosite, we can extract it into a redstone furnace, which will be cooked again and again to get manganese. The manganese, we are going to export it into a dissolver, which if we provide with some energy, of course, we can get a lot of manganese. Now, actually, before anything, there is something I forgot to do. And I really hope I have a drive for manganese. And of course, I don't have a drive for manganese. So we can get a drive for that, put it on our drive, set the manganese in our trash can for excess items, and then all of the manganese that has been already produced, we can just throw it back. So we can store all of that manganese inside the drive instead of our regular drives. And of course, the manganese is as well an item for singularities. So we can lock it in our singularity grid. And now I can connect this one back. Of course, there are 3 more materials we can start dissolving. Those are beryllium, sulfur, and arsenic. Now the thing with sulfur is that we use it for another crafting. So we are going to level emit this. Now we only need to set the dissolvers, and everything should start working. And of course, again, arsenic is as well an item for singularity. So we can set up a storage monitor for it and look at our progress. This is quite nice. And look at this fun number of nether stars. Look at all of that. And now, of course, everything is starting to clean up. And that is quite nice. Most likely, all of this will be duplicated. So most likely I'll have 2 dissolvers per each item that I am dissolving. As you can see, this is not dissolving fast enough. We can dissolve even more of this at a time. The same, we can process more manganese at a time. This is quite slow. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As for now, this is working. And we will only leave this working itself, so we really don't need to touch anything right now. After some time now, I already have enough neutronium in order to get our first neutronium compressor. So let's get a neutronium block and a bunch more of neutronium. And here, we should have all of the materials for our neutronium compressor. And with this block, we are basically ready to start crafting our singularities. So here I have a ME connection I'm not using. So we can have the neutronium compressor here. We can set a export bus with a lot of saturation cards, and we can start crafting something, or maybe not. Maybe this is only from the top. Yes, and we can leave this working. We should have enough iron molds in order to make all of the 45 iron singularities we need. And in this way, we can start crafting some singularities. As you can see, this will take some time to craft. There is one more thing I wanted to craft for a while now, and that is a dislocator. In this case, will be the advanced dislocator. Look at how now all of this charges very quick. That is very nice. We can also get an item dislocator. So basically I think any item that drops into the world, we should be able to collect it. Yes, we do. Now after all of this, let's start using a bit more of our multi-blocks here that we have, our fission and fusion multi-blocks. So again, a lot of these things from now on will be just setting up stuff like this. So yeah, it's really not, I don't feel this is that very interesting to see. One fusion reactor will receive beryllium and boron. If we fusion both of these, we should be getting fluorine. One fission reactor, we are going to be using it for beryllium, which will get us helium. And a second fission reactor, we will give it some copper to get both phosphorus and silicon. And of course, we are setting up storage monitors for each one of these. Now, I know this looks quite weird, but I hope this works. There are again some items that, well, some molds that we can only get from some items. Or rather, it is easier to get from some items. And one of them will be from wither skeleton skulls, which we have a lot of them, so we can start dissolving them. In a dissolver, we will export the wither skeleton skulls, which will get us a lot of mendelevium, as well as some hydroxylapatite. The hydroxylapatite, we can export it into another dissolver. This dissolver will get us calcium, phosphate, and hydroxide. The hydroxide, we can export it in another dissolver, which will get us hydrogen and oxygen. And the phosphate, the same, and will get us phosphate and more oxygen. And in that way, now we are also passive in mendelevium. Such a weird name. Now, I think I'll leave the episode right here. I really don't know if this is going to be a short or a long episode. I still need to edit the clips. But I do have a small question that I would like to pose. So, we are basically about to end the modpack. We only need to craft the 46 antimatter catalysts that we need in order to get the creative ME storage cell and be able to use it again, so we can have infinite antimatter catalysts. Then do the same for the pure antimatter ingot, as well as the regular antimatter, so we can easily get the infinity armor set, as well as the tool set and the weapon sets, as well as the creative power cell and the creative drum, finishing the modpack in that way. The problem is that, well, it's not really a problem, but it is just pure grind doing the exact same thing over and over and over again. A lot of the things that I would be doing if I were to get all of the necessary molds for completing the modpack would be just spamming a lot more of these fission and fusion multi-blocks, and I really don't think that's quite interesting to see. The same, it would just be spamming a lot of dissolvers, as well as a lot of phytogenic insulators plus dissolvers, a lot more of furnaces if necessary, spamming more stoneworks if we really need it. I would need as well to spam a lot more of these builders around this world. Either that or doing a bunch of quantum quarries in order to get the resources and so on. So yeah, it's really, I don't think it's really that interesting to see all of this. Just look this spam of of evaporators. All of this for mineral salts. So basically, I suppose this is going to be the state of the modpack until I complete it. Just spamming things and really nothing new. All the interesting things were up to getting the neutronium compressor, which even this was just a waiting game to get enough neutronium to craft it. And again, everything will be just a spamming and waiting game, as for example, if I want to get one dense neutronium compressor, I will need 1260 diamonds per each dense neutronium collector. Right now we can craft the denser neutronium collector, but it's again 3780 diamonds, 378 nether stars. A lot of this is just waiting. And now my system is booked. It says I cannot craft this now. So yeah, as you can see, it's just a lot of, at least from what I can see from my site, it's a lot of unnecessary grind. It is really not that interesting to see. There is nothing new other than just spamming stuff. The cool stuff were, of course, getting the neutron collectors, as well as the extreme crafting table and our first neutronium compressor right here, which is still doing iron singularities, by the way. It is still doing iron singularities, as well as getting all of these lines set up for dimensional shards, and even all of these energetics generators. Some more problems I would need to fix is Flut's Phytogrow. This has been going down for a while now. So yeah, again, it is just more spamming phytogenic insulators and sawmills with the resin funnel augment. A lot of the stuff from now on will be just spamming stuff, and I don't think that's going to be it's not going to be quite interesting to see. So because a lot of things that we are requiring now is just spamming stuff, my idea is to, for next episode, we are just going to fill all of this grid with the molds that are missing, and kind of just trying to think of which methods to use for each one of these molds that are missing to passive. So that means setting up all of the fusion and fission multi-blocks that I need, only setting up to get the molds and the output. And once we have that, then we can just set up the mold in the grid. The same if we require a photogenic insulator and a dissolver for that mold, we will set those ones up, and then we will come back to the grid and set up the mold. But I don't think I'll do the whole singularity things, because a lot of this is just a waiting game. As I can see it, it is just a waiting game. So most likely I'll be doing that. And of course, maybe if I just want, I'll kind of off camera leave the world open so it can just farm all of the items, passive all of the items, all of the modes. And once I have enough of everything, I'll just craft the catalyst and all of that stuff, craft the 45 catalysts, and then just end the mod pack right there by crafting the whole infinity set and infinity armor tools and the power cell and the drum and then infinite other stuff. But really, I don't think I'll just finish the mod pack right now. It's just too much waiting game. And I think that before it was even the waiting game was even crazier. So yeah, I hope you understand that. I hope you understand that. I don't think I'll have fun just spamming multi-blocks. It's not fun. I don't think it's fun. But yeah, we will see what the future prepares for us. But most likely the next episode will be the final one. Just filling up the grid, and that's all. And then in the spare time, I'll just leave the world running. And that's going to be the end, basically. So yeah, until now this mod pack has been quite fun. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. And this is the end of the episode, of course. So as always, if you're still here, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a better day, because it can always be better. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.